one thing that I learned early on is never to make decisions when you're emotional. Um, you, you don't want to do something that you may not have done if you were in a different situation at the core of who you are and on the decision making. And what I mean by that is like when people are stressed out about finances, you might do things that you normally wouldn't do, right? And if I told you, okay, time out, let me give you a bag of money, and I told you you were good for 6 months, you don't have to worry about money whatsoever. Would you still make that same decision? And if the answer is yes, great. Then you're in the right place. But if the answer is like, I don't know, maybe not. Well, then I think you need to take a step back, take a time out, sit on it, go to bed that night, wake up the next morning and see if maybe you're going to make a different decision on what you're going to do next. Because at the end of the day, guys, it's all about your mindset. It's all about your confidence in yourself. And hopefully you have a good support system, whether it's a wife or a family. For me, I have my wife, Allie. I have my family supportive. When I started my business, it was 2008. Okay. I was married. I had Ashley, my daughter, who was turning 3. We were pregnant with Zach, who then I started my business in January of 2008. And Zach was born in July of 2008. So because Zach was born, we lived in a townhouse. I had to go buy a house that was bigger. So at that time, okay, I'm now an entrepreneur, right? I'm self-employed, and anybody that buys a house and you want to get a mortgage, the bank needs to ask for your employer. They want to know that you're able to pay the bills. They extend you credit. A mortgage is credit essentially, right? So if you buy a house, I think at the time our first house we bought was like $700,000 and change, right? So you got to put your down payment down, whatever that is. Let's say 20%. So that's what, $140,000. So then, I'm sitting and looking for a mortgage for like, what is that? 560 grand. And the bank looks at it and says, well, okay, we give you this $560,000, but what's the collateral? Are you good? Do you have good credit? Can you pay? Do you have a job? Right. So now I'm starting a new business with not a ton of history there. And it was a crazy time. Right. And so now, thankfully, I did get that mortgage and I got that house. But what was crazy was during that whole period of time was me trying to start a business. I have a 3-year-old and a soon to be 1-year-old now that I have to worry about. It's a completely different game when you start a business and you're a dad versus if you want to start a business and you're single, or maybe you're married but you don't have kids, right? Starting a business when you're a dad, you got mouths to feed. It's not like you have timeouts. It's the most amazing experience, and I recommend everybody do it. It's like one of the most special things and the craziest things, and miracle how you're able to like create these little things that are you, right? But it's tough, right? It's hard on the parents. You don't sleep. You feed the child, certainly the newborn, every 3 hours. And when you have 2, right, it's man-to-man defense at that point because both kids need to have a parent to do things for, and at the same time trying to start a business. And it was a pretty crazy time. And I think back to it now, and it's it's fun. It was fun. I made it, and it was cool. The story's inside the book. You guys can read it when it comes out November 19th. Between 1 and 3 o'clock Eastern, buy that ebook and you will get all the bonuses on Amazon, or you can go to ericmdd.com. Okay. Little plug there.